Welcome back, guys, to another Tesla video. Got some pretty big stuff here and addressing one of the most important issues throughout the video, which is batteries. So batteries are probably one of the most important part of any electric vehicle. Similar to how in like these gasoline combustion cars, like the engine is probably the most important part of the car. For these electric vehicles, the lithium-ion battery is the most expensive part of the car, and it's super expensive to make, and also it's the most expensive part of the car. And keep in mind, in the EV world, to determine whose electric vehicle is better pretty much boils down to the battery. Sure, you could be having design, you could be having maybe like doors or maybe like software, but at the end of the day, people have charging anxiety. People don't like it when batteries run out in less than 200 miles per charge. People don't buy electric vehicles nowadays, some of them, because of charging anxiety. They feel like per charge, it doesn't go far enough. Charging takes too long. So what do you need to do? You need to make a lithium-ion battery that charges super fast, which means has a super dense, and then it could run a ton on a single charge. And guess what Tesla is doing? They're doing a lot of battery stuff. And since this year, 2020, Tesla may reach 500,000 deliveries, Musk came out to say in Q3 earnings that they will be reaching 1 million deliveries in 2021. And 500,000 will go to the Shanghai Gigafactory. The rest will be split among the other Gigafactories. Berlin isn't going to be getting a lot of deliveries since they will be operational around Q2 of 2021. And that's already like half the years like spent fixing and also building the overall factories. So we will be putting that aside. And also the cool thing about the Berlin Gigafactory is the 4680 battery production for the Model Ys. And since the 4680 batteries are a lot more denser, they could run a lot more on a single charge. So guess what? Tesla is in absolute dire need to get more batteries, especially the semi-trucks producing in the Austin Gigafactory. They have a ton of these giant trucks being ordered by major logistics companies. Even Walmart is ordering a few trucks here and there. And these massive semi-trucks use 46 times the amount of battery cells compared to a normal consumer vehicle like the Model 3s or the Model S's. So you get the idea. This is a really big deal and Tesla is trying to address this. And so far, if you check out nickel, this is a really important product for Tesla batteries. You may be scratching your heads, why nickel? So nickel makes batteries a lot more denser. So vehicles can run a lot further on a single charge. And pretty much Tesla needs this metal more than ever before since they're trying to ramp up production for the semi-truck, which takes a ton of battery cells. They're trying to ramp up production for batteries, and you can have the best production line ever for batteries, but you don't have nickel, well, you can't really do anything. Since nickel is one of the few materials that's actually necessary for a lithium-ion battery, and it makes batteries way denser, which the 4680 prides itself on being a really dense battery and holding a ton of charge. And right now, you got the president of Indonesia sending executives to meet with Tesla to reveal with a possible deal. Now, this deal will be very important since Tesla knows that Indonesia has one of the biggest nickel reserves on Earth. They have a lot of nickel, and that's absolutely necessary for lithium-ion production, especially the amount of scaling that Tesla is doing and the amount of gigafactories they're doing. They need nickel more than ever before. And so far, this could be a win-win for both parties, especially how Indonesia will be getting a lot of brand new jobs, and Tesla in return will definitely be getting a lot of cool nickel for their vehicles. And so far, we'll be seeing what's going on. It's going to be very interesting. And CEO Elon Musk has issued this nickel shortage for a very, very long time, especially the amount of ambitious products he's doing and the amount of promises he's making. For example, 1 million vehicles in 2021, massive semi-truck production. And they're also working with Panasonic to make this 4680 battery factory. So yes, they need a lot of nickel. And if they do open a facility in Indonesia and starts getting a lot of these precious resources, they'll definitely be making a ton of cash, especially how there's a lot of other EV competition out there. For example, Daimler, who is pretty famous for Mercedes-Benz, they're doing electric trucks as well, and they're working with Google's Waymo for autopilot and autonomous driving. So a lot of these things are coming out, and since there's so many EV guys out there, like the Ford Mustang Mach-E, they're coming out, the Porsche Taycan's coming out, the BMW electric series is coming out, the Mercedes-Benz EQ. There's a lot of companies making electric vehicles. In the next couple years, we'll be seeing an absolute explosion of electric vehicles and from different brands. I mean, Volkswagen's going for it. Lexus is thinking about it. It's pretty big. So one big thing that everyone will be needing are batteries. And since most car companies right now are stressing over their own car production line, Tesla is stressing over nickel, which is honestly though the better of the two stressors, since if Tesla can pretty much have the majority of this nickel and make a bunch of batteries, they could be a major battery producer. And since EVs, and if every major car company is making EVs in the next 10 years, nickel will be an absolutely big demand. And since if Tesla gets a major head start in this, pretty much in business, if you get a major head start, you're going to be pretty successful among your peers. And Tesla is thinking like really far ahead. Right now, majority of car companies are thinking short term, like, hey, how can I get this car factory to get up? I need to sell as many electric vehicles as possible. Hey, we need to design more new vehicles. Tesla is thinking, okay, I need to get as much nickel as possible. I need to set up a facility in Indonesia to get this precious resource. And then they're also thinking, we need to work more closely with Panasonic to make this nice 4680 battery factory. And then, since these batteries are denser and hold more charge, these batteries will be far superior than any other car battery out there. So yeah, Tesla's honestly pretty smart. Let's see how this goes, because it's honestly going to be pretty beneficial for the overall country as well. Since a lot of these gigafactories, when they do open up in a specific location, they do provide a lot of new jobs, new engineers come in. So let's just see what's going to happen, because if they do meet up and they do agree to build this facility, Tesla will be an absolute powerhouse. If you look at Tesla stock right now, it's honestly pretty depressing. Stock really isn't really doing that much. It's just chilling. It's not really moving that much. It's been pretty flat. Now, keep in mind, there's more and more major catalysts being piled up on top of Tesla. And once people start noticing, hey, this thing could make Tesla a $1 trillion company, because they own one of the biggest battery production centers in the world. I mean, if they could start getting nickel, this precious resource, and then put it into the 4680 battery and start cranking those out from the Berlin Gigafactory and maybe from the Fremont Gigafactory, it's gonna be a big deal. Because Tesla, they're working with Panasonic and they're focusing heavily on the battery aspect. Sure, cars are cool. I love vehicles. I love these really sporty designs, but the most important part are batteries. Every EV car company out there, they're pretty much focusing heavily on the car production. Like, how can make up the car facility, etc., all that stuff. But no one is really focusing on the most important aspect, which is the batteries. The batteries are absolutely key for an electric car company to be fully operational, because in the future, batteries will be in super high demand, since the amount of battery cells to take a car is way more than, for example, a smartphone. And especially, you got a lot of other electric trucking companies that are coming up. And guess what? Those trucking companies will be needing a ton of lithium-ion batteries. And the only way to get that is to be first in the battery production world. Even Mercedes-Benz and BMW are focusing on EVs, but they're not really focusing that much on the battery production line, since their hands are already full. That's about it, guys. Thanks for watching. Tesla is looking very, very good.